Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is David, and continuing with a theme here during Lent and the times that RVers travel, I thought I would show how to find a Catholic church. Now, this obviously will be guided towards those who are Catholic, but if you're not Catholic and you're interested in just how to find a Catholic church, should you need to or should you want to, then I'm going to show you the process and what Tina and I do when we're traveling in order to find a Catholic church to go to when we're traveling. So here we go. Okay, so here we are in our browser, and we use 3 different websites, and it just depends on what you're looking for. So we're going to start with masstimes.org, and this is really good to find your standard Novus Ordo Mass, or the Mass that most of us are probably familiar with. And this is just a great way to find it. And for this example, I'm going to just focus on an area that I know, but it's just an example of how you would find this. So Tina and I both look for the traditional Latin Mass when we are traveling because of its consistency and its timelessness. It's been around for thousands of years, or 1,000 years, I should say, not thousands, but it's well over 1,000 years. And when you're traveling, for us being what I would call traditional Catholics, meaning that we like the traditional Latin Mass and the traditional form of the Mass, we use these 3 websites. So I use masstimes.org if I can't find anything on the other 2 websites. And the other website is called latinmass.com, and the other one is called latinmassder.org. Either one of these 2 will find the traditional Latin Mass that we're looking for. So in this example, we'll use the latinmass.com. We're going to say find a TLM, traditional Latin Mass. And we're going to search for, well, there's a couple ways. You can search for it here in the search bar, or, it's probably easier just to kind of zoom in on the area. So let's just zoom in on Louisville, Kentucky, which is what we're using for our example. Now we don't do the SSPX, and we don't do the FSSP. We're looking for the standard traditional Latin Mass. So let's look at right here, downtown Louisville, and that is the St. Martin of Tours Catholic Church. And here you can click on it and you can see the map. And you can come over here and you can look on the left-hand side to look to see if there's any more information. Now, you will notice that it has the Sunday hours of 8 and 12. The 12 o'clock Mass, I know, is in the high choral form. It's what they call high Mass. It's a high sung Mass. If you go to the latinmassder.org, we can do the same thing. We can type in Louisville, Kentucky, and it has found 2. This seems to be a little bit easier to navigate with, but here are your 2 parishes that will present the traditional Latin Mass. So we will then again choose St. Martin of Tours. Here it tells you it's Sunday at 12 and it's sung. It's also on holy days of obligation, they do the traditional Latin Mass for those holy days. So you can visit site and get more information from there. So that's how we would find the traditional Latin Mass. Back to masstimes.org, if you just type in, we'll say Louisville, Kentucky. So here it will just give you a list of all of the parishes, basically within, I don't know what the radius is, but it looks like a 10-mile radius maybe of Louisville, Kentucky. And you can look through the list here, and you can look at the times that you might want to go on a Sunday. If you want to try Saturday, it may have a broader range because there may be more masses available on a Saturday vigil. But we're going to stick with Sunday, and here we have an 8 a.m. at these parishes, an 8:30, and so on. Now, what is not as clear on here, and it used to be, is they would highlight or they would note the extraordinary form of the Mass on the website. It would say extraordinary form. Now, it doesn't say that any longer, which is what led me to look into the other two websites. Now, it does say language Latin at 12 p.m., which would be correct. However, if you try to sort on language and you sort on Latin, it's not necessarily coming up to the Latin Mass, but the rite, the Latin rite, which is pretty much all of the Catholic parishes in the world are in the Latin rite. I mean, there is a Byzantine and there may be another, but generally speaking, they are the Latin rite. So then what we do is if we cannot find, let's say we cannot find a Latin Mass where we're wanting to go. So let's just say we're going to get rid of those. And let's say then I want to go to the, we're not early birds. we try to be. Well, let's just say we want to go to 10 o'clock. What I do then is I then find, let's say we want to go to Holy Family. We find that church, and from here we can, hopefully it'll open up the website. And what I do is I look at the bulletins of the parish. And the reason I do that is I look for what I'll call very liberal content. And typically most parishes are not extremely liberal, but there are. And of course I'm not meaning liberal in the sense of politics, but in the way the Mass is presented. Just right here, okay, and I know this is just a snippet of a video. I'm hoping this priest is not dancing. I mean, it doesn't look like he's in the sanctuary, but these are the things I look for when I'm trying to find a parish to go to. So I hope this has been helpful. If you know someone who's Catholic and they travel, they RV a lot, or maybe they just travel a lot, please forward this on to them, and hopefully this will help them find a Catholic church to go to on Saturday evenings or Sundays. Because sometimes when we have our travel days and we have to leave on Sunday, we will attend a Saturday evening Mass. So, and if you're not Catholic and you have interest in the Catholic Church, down in the description I'll put some other YouTube channels that may help provide some more insights into the Catholic faith. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please share with your friends, click that like button, and subscribe. All right, we'll talk to you soon.